This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way. On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3. And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston. And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And now this offensive unit, we get a look at their starters. They put up good numbers last week, looking to carry that forward. Yeah, Brandon, they saw the numbers from last week. They expect to at least replicate them. They think that they can put up bigger numbers this week. They are a confident bunch. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Jameis on 2nd down. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And the numbers from a week ago for Jarvis Landry. 5 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. And that was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy that defenses had better focus on. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got it, the tight end, Jeff Heuerman. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well. But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that. Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit. And Ndamukong Suh was an all-pro when he was with the Detroit Lions in 2013, 2014. Many people think that maybe he might either be slowing down or not playing at the same level. My eyes tell me he's still playing at an elite level, still destroying the interior of an offense, can get to the quarterback, crush a run game, you name it. Ndamukong Suh can do it, and how about how durable he is? Hasn't missed a game since 2011. They'll run with Foreman. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. 20! And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers are going to take a 1st quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate. And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Tackle made by Brian Orakpo.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. The 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 34 yards there and a first down. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A.J. Green, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. And that's going to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league, and we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. And I looked at him coming out of college. I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
They'll look to throw. And incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Back to throw here. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On play action, Winston. Wide open receiver complete. And now nothing but green ahead of him. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Oh, eluding the tackle. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Winston now to throw on first down. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a handoff to Ingram. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They go play action. Winston. He is going to find Hill here. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to the running game. It's Ingram. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Ingram. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Devontae Parker, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Panthers have broken our tie as they take the lead. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know the receivers love to say, if we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he spins through. Oh, he did it again. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game, because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's a give to Fournette. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Watch him now, Barney!
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Tackle there by Clay Matthews. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll run it now out of the gun.
Whoosh.
There he goes inside the 30 and down to the 27-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Down to the 25. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll set up a throw, and he's got it. Got his man on the end route, complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now Leonard Fournette. Fournette, 1st down, still going. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Elliott good with a PAT. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth 1st half. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Now it's Ingram. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Winston now closing in on a 200-yard 1st half through the air. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the 1st half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this, or Keeps hitting the calculator, but my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to...
And it'll be intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. And he is going to be stopped on the return at his own 3-yard line. Landry, the intended target.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Look at the spin.
Balance.
He's got daylight. The 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. 97 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, it's a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but eventually they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is a well over. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Grady Jarrett coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
It really helps your play calling, because now you're in a position where you're confident in either one, either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead here in the 2nd quarter. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll drop the throw. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's 3rd and short. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that second catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time, getting work there. Well, they get 14 yards there and a 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. It was the veteran safety, Malcolm Jenkins, who got a hand in there to disrupt it.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
This is Fournette. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. Now a second down throw for Winston. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Looking left side him, he's got a man. That's James. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. He'll get it up the middle. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Saints add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. "14 seconds, all that's left of this first half as they come up on first down. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Final play of the half here, Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to... And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Spins away.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let this one go deep right sideline. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. A handoff to Fournette. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Saints on 3rd down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. This is 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw here. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
He'll drop to throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. Touchdown, New Orleans. A.J. Green, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned.
Offense.
Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Ingram again. And some room to roam now. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set. Fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. After the penalty, it's Ingram. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective. They're able to stop him before he can get a good head of steam going.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? But
They got his man complete. They give him a gain of 38.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there, and he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one 28 yards on the ground.
And we all know it's turned into a passing league in the NFL, but that doesn't mean people still don't like to run the football. When you run it that successfully, your offensive line is fired up. What they want to do each and every game is run block. Get out and smack some people. I would say go ahead and run.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Dez Bryant, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Saints are pouring it on. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always have that being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now Winston, it's complete to Parker left side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Jameis to throw it. And he will find his man on the outside. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Ready. Back 25
Now Jameis on 2nd down. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Off the play fake, Winston. Throw left side complete. That's Bass. And down inside the 15 he goes. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. Jameis now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 2nd down.
They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8.
Ready. Back 22.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he's brought down. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
Ready.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Ready. Black 22.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Third and goal, Winston. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up. His time is now run out. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, a broadcaster?
I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, when the team...
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panthers sack.
Okay, my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding under pressure again, and down he goes again. Clay Matthews in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point...
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the gun, Winston. He dumps it down to Ingram. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Jameis now on first down. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Bass. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And this is caught at the 8. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
He'll get it up the middle. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out?
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Mark Ingram, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Oh, another one. A second spin.
Turning and turning and turning.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. 44 yards. And the Saints add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And the Panthers coming out now. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
And he's got the hook up to Landry. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Ready. Black 22.
A first down throw for Winston. And Hill with it over the middle. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Ready. Blue ready.
Second down, Winston. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Bass. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Green brings it in, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And his throw here is incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
The Saints on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now back to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Doyle. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And able to find Green. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
This will be taken in at the 1. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Ready. 125.
A second down throw for Winston. On target over the middle to Hill. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do? You got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end. Take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. He goes underneath to Ingram. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Here's Drew Kaiser now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Ross on the return. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit. When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to sling this deep down. And this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for New Orleans, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.